I'm mending something! Welcome back, guys, to the channel. I am Bluudy. Now, a couple of times on the last few cars that I've had, I thought about doing switchback DRL indicators, and I finally decided that I want to do it on the MR2. So I've grabbed myself a box of switchback DRL indicators, and we're going to give it a go. For those that don't know what they are bulbs that somehow connect to the indicator and somehow connect to the side light. So when you put your side lights on, they light up white. When you put your indicators on, they'll then turn the white off and flash orange, and then indicator off, it'll go back to white. That's how they should work. That's what I'm hoping they're going to do. This is not a plug for any brand, this is just me. I bought these off the internet, they're like 15 quid. I'm going to give them a go, fitting them on the MR2. So I think the first thing I need to do is pull them out of the box and actually have a look what they are, get them wired up and see if we can get it tested. Mainly so I know what's going off. So I want to get my battery charger and I want to wire them up, and we'll go from there really. So to do this switchback install, you are going to need the following items. Potentially a screwdriver or whatever it is you need to use to pop your headlight out or your side light out, whatever your unit is. But I use this to pop off the caps on my MR2. You're going to need some cutters to cut your wires and to crimp tools on if you're going to use it and you're not going to use a soldering iron. If you are going to use a soldering iron, you're going to need a soldering iron. Make sure you get some gas, if mine's a gas one, so you need gas and solder. Also going to need a little bit of wire. I use this to work out which wires are needed, so this is my multimeter. Some snips, which you could use the snips on there, but I use some snips as well. Some tape to wrap up the connections, and some spade and bucket terminals, and then last but not least, your bulbs. So let's crack that box open and have a look inside. So we have the box of lights. I don't care about that. I care about these. Let's grab these out. In fact, let's grab everything out. So these hopefully are the right fitment for my car. I hope that they are. You can see that they have the bulb fitment. That obviously that will go into the existing wiring on the car. That is a resistor for the LEDs. Now you can get these without the resistor, but I'll explain that later on. And then there's this wire here. So I don't know if that bit's for the, yeah, that bit's got to be for the indicator. That's what's got the resistor in it, and then this bit must be for the power from the side light. So I need to connect on a power, connect on an earth, whichever way around it is, to get it to light up, and then I can then look at seeing if I can get it to actually work properly. I can never remember if it's earth on the outside, power on the inside, or all the way around. What is on? I hope if I turn that on. Aha! So there we can see that I'm right. So earth is on the outside, and the power is on the bottom. You can see that doesn't flash because your car would make it flash, because obviously it has a relay and it goes tick 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 tick, and that would make it flash. Theoretically, I should be able to attach that into there. Put power down there. There we are. We have the side light. So if I put that screwdriver in there and stays in there, please, just for the demonstration purposes, then I get this and then touch the end. The indicator should override the white. There we go. So the indicator is now on. The white is off. And then it switches back to white, which I think is pretty cool, to be honest. So put the light there. We're on side lights at the moment. You put your indicators on, the indicator would flash like this. Come on, when I can keep touching the thing. Then when you stop flashing, it goes back to white. That's pretty cool. I like that. It's very clever. And then just take that off. So now you've got the principle of how they work. Let's take all this off. We know they work, I just need to get them to fit into the car. Pull this out. And so earlier I said that this has the resistor on, and there is a way around it. So some of these bulbs can come without resistors. The ones that you're going to fit without resistors, you have to get a different relay, and it's like a resistor relay, and you actually replace the indicator relay with the new relay, and it saves you having to put these resistors in. because theoretically I'd have to put a resistor in like this at every single bulb, which I'm only doing the front 2 bulbs, so it's not really an issue. But you could just put one resisted relay in and that would cover the whole circuit, so you could just put normal LED indicator bulbs in. Because if you don't, and you don't have a resistor, or you don't have a resisted relay, what will happen is they will just flash and flash and flash and flash and flash. It's called hyper flash or super flash or really fast, whatever you want to call it. Instead of being the normal tick of 60 to 120 times a minute, I think it is, they just be ridiculously fast. Constantly flick like that. Make all your bulbs do that, like all the indicator bulbs do that. So now what you need to do is go ahead and pull out the light on the front of the MR2 and get it fitted. I hope I bought the right fitting. I really do. So this is the light that I have on the front of the MR2, and at the moment the indicator is in there and the side light is in there. So I'm hoping that I can just put the new bulb in there, and then that will be my side and my indicators, and that will be nothing. Now these are still loose from when I did the wrap, mainly because I already had these new bulbs at the time. So I left them loose, so I'm not driven anyway, just to make life easier for fitting them when I got the bulbs. So pull that out, you can see, didn't even attach it. And then the other loom is here. But I'm going to have to disconnect this bit of loom off of there, because I'm going to need this fitting, and even that fitting as well, to be fair. So I'm going to quickly just whip this off, and then I will show you the next step. So this is the wiring that you've just seen on the back of that light. Now, if I can, I'd like to keep utilising that LED light, but I'm going to need to get a power signal off it at some point to work the indicator, or to work the switchback mechanism, because at the moment this will just work as an indicator. So if I plug it in and go and turn on the lights, that should flash as an indicator when I can get it to not want to fall. Let's go and quickly turn it on. It should be flashing. There we go, it is flashing. It's flashing on the hazards at the moment. And if I switch it to the actual indicator, it should still stay flashing at the same speed. Yep. So it's now on the indicator and it's still flashing at the same speed. It's not hyper flashing, and that's because of this relay just here. So all I need to do now is figure out a way of keeping this light working and attaching it into there, so that can then switch back. So what I'm going to do is chop whichever is the positive. I assume it's the green, I'll have to check. Chop that one, put an extra bit of wire in, or an extra plug, something like that, and then I can run that to there and plug it on. That's what I'm going to do to fit it. So on this plug we have 3 wires. We have a solid green wire, we have a green and black wire, and we have the white and black wire. Now the white and black wire goes to both the indicator and the side light, so that has to be the earth. Pretty confident that the solid green then is the power to the side light, because when it comes out of this bit of loom just here, it is solid green. But to quickly test that, I have my multimeter that I'm going to try and do this all one-handed. If I pop the probe in the middle, because the middle is the earth, this is why I need a new GoPro mount. If anyone can suggest a good GoPro stand mount, then please do. Right, I'll put my camera down so you can hopefully see. You can see what I'm doing at least. Now I can show you the screen after. So black is going to go into the middle. Solid green is that side, which should correspond to the plug. That solid green, yes. So black in the middle, solid green on this left hand side. I've got the side lights turned on in the car at the moment, and if I can hold them in the right place, the screen is flicking so I know it's working. I just want to be able to lift it up and show you guys. Come on, you bugger. that on there. Hold that on there. Alright, hopefully if I hold that there, hold that on there. So I don't want to damage the plug by forcing the prongs in too far. There you go, look. Reading 12 battery. So I know now I can chop that wire and splice into it, and then I can obviously take a power feed and connect it into the switchbacks. So now we need to go back to the bench, chop, solder and splice essentially. So before I go to the next step, which I'll show you in a second, there was also this in the box. What this is a fused wire. So this would be a power wire, and it has 2 spades on the end which would connect to them spades just there. So you could connect on one side light, and then obviously you can have a fuse on the one side and then connect to both, so you'd end up having a wire running across like back of your bumper or something like that. I don't want that because I think that's messy, because I'm going to end up with extra wires that I don't want, where essentially I can just wire it in. This is because of how easy it is on my car and the location of everything. So I'll be soldering this little bit of wire just onto there. I will be cutting that one off because it's too small, and I have 2 new terminals just here. I'll be putting them on. So that one onto there, this one onto the end of this wire, solder this onto there, cover that up with some tape, and then that'll be it. Everything is all contained in this small little bit and bob. I don't need the fused bit because the side lights is fused in the car anyway, and doing it this way, I'm not adding 2 bulbs onto one side, I'm having 1 bulb onto each side, which in my eyes is better, because, and that's messy, it's just messy. And the thin wires, you know, I'm doing it this way and I'm quite happy with it. So I have some solder, I've got my soldering iron, my gas one that's working up at the moment. Just going to get this little bad boy soldered on. That onto there, that onto there, that onto there, and hey presto. I'm going to actually put that onto there first, I think, yeah. Hey presto, we'll have a new bit of wiring. And there we go, it's all soldered up. I just need to put a bit of tape over there. That will connect nicely into that bit of loom, and then we can get it fitted back on the light, which I'm going to do in a second. So next time I turn this camera back around, it should hopefully be at the front of the car putting the lights in. So here we have the light unit and everything. I just put a bit of tape over there. That's the join between, you know, the power light line that's going from there to the bulb, just to give it a bit of protection from inclement weather. This bulb should now hopefully fit in there. It squashes in on a rubber bung, a bit loose for my liking. Does that twist? Can I twist it in? It ain't coming out. This bulb can go back into there. Whenever it wants to go in. Like that. That's now in nice and tight. So then I can plug that back onto there. Now those of you who might want to tuck some of this wiring up out of the way, I might just tie wrap it to itself, if I'm honest. Like put a tie wrap all round. I do have a tie wrap. I know you can't see me on the camera at the moment, but I'm doing a tie wrap. Just makes the wiring a bit neat. It's not dead tight, so it can still move. Now I'm going to trim that off, we'll feed that into the car, connect the plug on, and hey presto, we should be about there on this side. Then I've got to repeat it. So if I connect that plug into here, sure it's nice and firmly in. Feed everything in. Right, so now if I go and turn the lights on, that should light up and that should light up. Only time will tell. Okay, apparently I put my actual headlights on as well. Check that out. I want a better bulb in there, but that looks good. I'll turn them off. That's going to kill my battery. Right, so we're back to side lights. Now if I put the indicator on, I hope that should have switched. I can't see it. You guys can see it on camera, but I can't see it. But that looks good. And then if I quickly run back, yeah! How cool was that? We have working switchbacks. I just got that side to do now, but that is a daytime running lamp. Granted, it's not daytime. So what I've technically done is wired it into my side lights. It means I have to have my side lights on all the time, which is fine. But you could as easily wire, if you had, you could wire that little white line into a permanent live. Now that's really what that other wire is for. But I don't want a permanent live because sometimes I might be going to pick my fiance up, something like that, and I'm sat with the music on. I don't want my lights on, so I don't want them to work as daytime running lamps. I want them to work as what I want them to work as. But they're on sides at the moment. Turn sides off. Go back for the indicator. It'll just work as an indicator. I'm very conscious this mount's very loud. When I'm holding it, it's squeaking. Some of you've moaned. I say moaned, you've let me know that it makes a lot of noise, and I am apologising for that. So we know that works. So now I'm going to secure that, get that one done, and then we can go at some point and we can have a look what it looks like on the road or a bit further away. Well, I'll show you in the garage first. I can't get anywhere right now. But I'm supposed to be going out at some point in the car just to have a bit of a drive. So we'll have a look then. Right, I'm going to get that put together, get the other one done, and I'll show you when I'm at the end. So both lights are fully set up and should be working. I haven't actually tested that one yet, so this will be funny if it's not. So, we go to side lights, and we should have fully working side lights. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Indicator. Oh no, I need ignition off indicator. Indicator. Other indicator. Yeah. I'm watching it in the reflection. Go back to switchback. Love it. I love it. And then we go to hazards. And then switch back. Yeah! See, it switches back on its own. I ain't doing any of that. And last but not least, we have the headlights. I love my bubbles. Love them. So that is a job well done. And there we go, guys, a nice easy mod that you can do on pretty much any car. Just a couple of things to bear in mind. You need to get the LEDs with the resistors if you're not going to replace the relay. If you're going to replace the relay, then it doesn't matter, you can stick normal LEDs in all the way around, because the relay will be the resistor and that will stop it from hyper flashing. You will need the resistors anyway if you have a CAN bus system, so that doesn't throw on the bulb out issue. But the MR2 is well before CAN bus, so there's no issue with that at all. So I hope you enjoy this little mod. It might be useful for you guys. You can see that it does make the car look a little bit modern in terms of its lighting from the front of the car, so it's very good. I'm quite happy with the outcome. Make sure you stay tuned for another video. Check out my other videos over on Bluudys Garage Extra. A massive thank you to my patrons, and you will see them at the end of the video. Make sure you take care, guys. Stay safe, stay humble, and I will see you in another video very, very, very soon. Bye bye. I mended something!